Kanye's best prodigy. He ain't signed me, but he proud of me. I got some ideas that you gotta see. Make a vid with short.
What's up, world? It's your boy VJ. I know y'all miss me. And you know, Mr. Victory is back. And this is my Brother and Me sports podcast. And I got my brother with me. What's up, bruh?
Hey man, it's Elijah, man, your sports nerd, man, and VJ is finally back for some more, some more losing going on right now. It's
I'm
not
here.
victory, it's losing.
I never
It's
lose.
losing. It's losing.
I never
but
lose.
I guess today you're gonna find out again. But today, man, we're gonna talk, and we're gonna just again keep with our hot topics. 20 minutes, man. We're gonna keep it real brief. But we're gonna hit y'all with some good facts. But bruh, tell me about how you feel in regards to this Kyrie trade. We've talked about it on different depths in the group chat, one on one. We've heard a lot of opinions from Fanique. We've heard a lot of opinions in regards to everybody else's opinion. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shout out to Fanique too. But at the same time, man, just what's your opinion on it?
Oh man, well first, before I get started on all the other NBA craziness, I do have to say happy birthday to the Mamba himself, Mr. Kobe Bryant.
The greatest of all time.
Right?
The greatest of all time.
Turned big 3-9 today, but
the greatest
I'm
of
sure
all
he's
time.
I'm sure he still got it on the court. So happy birthday, man. But yeah, so Kyrie to Boston. That's crazy. I mean, you know what? I think that was a big deal. At least to me it was. So basically Boston received Kyrie Irving from the Cleveland Cavaliers in exchange for Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, Kitchich. Is that how you say his name?
Some unknown guy, a center,
and a first rounder
from Boston.
from
Brooklyn.
next year,
from Brooklyn,
right? From Brooklyn. Which I mean, a lot of people are looking at it as a slightly lopsided trade. Some people are saying that Cleveland got the higher end of the deal. Whereas Boston got the low end.
I should have went first on this.
To me personally, hey, look, I'm just saying. To me personally, I think it was a pretty even trade. I think Boston came out just as good as they were, if not a little better on the offensive side. Kyrie, and some people like to, they want to argue that because Isaiah Thomas was one of the top scorers in the league last year. Essentially, this is true, but he didn't have Gordon Hayward on his team last season. And they also didn't have Jason Tatum, who's gonna be a heck of a player given the next few years, maybe if not this season.
And Brown,
Brown
maturing. Let's say a maturing Brown.
And of course we got I was gonna say a young veteran. We got an old veteran in Al Horford, in the big man position. So, I think offensively this team has gotten that much better. Kyrie running the floor. You got Gordon Hayward a scorer. Jason Tatum can shoot from outside and take a man off the dribble. You still got Brown, who can potentially be a solid defensive player, as well as Al Horford. They did lose a step where they lost Avery Bradley, as well as Jay Crowder. And the cat that went to Philadelphia. Can't remember his name right now. Raheem something. I can't remember his name.
What 2 years? And then 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, 2 years ago or this year, you lost Evan Turner as well.
Yeah,
Evan Turner was coming off. You know what I'm saying?
So they did lose a slight step on defense, but I mean, I think they have the potential to be putting up 110 points a game this season. And, now it's going to come down to will they be able to prevent teams from scoring 111? You know what I mean?
But what you still haven't answered the question. Who won that trade?
Whew. Well, I mean...
Who won that trade?
Okay. Can we answer this in two pieces?
No, we can answer who won the trade. That's all. I want to know from you who won the trade.
Well, because there is a winner for long term and there's a winner for short term. Short term, I think Cleveland won. You know,
So right now
because
you think Cleveland won that trade? Okay, that's
I
all I
think
want to hear.
I think
That's what I
short term, yeah, they did. I think so. They boosted up their defense a little bit. They also boosted up their defense a little bit. They also got a solid player in Isaiah Thomas, who is a great spark plug. He knows how to score. He knows how to carry a team who doesn't have great offense. And now you combine him with LeBron, who already is a dominant force in the league. You know, I think they're once again Eastern Conference Finals contenders.
Okay, I got you. I
Um,
got you. I
you know,
got you. Okay, I got you.
but long
No, no,
term,
no, 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 no. You already answered the question.
long
You already
term,
answered the question. You answered the
Boston
question.
Celtics are gonna go a long way. Kyrie's only 25 years old.
I mean, he's younger than us.
He's younger.
I'm younger than us. Come on now.
He's younger than us, and I think he's finally coming into his own. I will say this in defense of Kyrie, people are saying, "Oh, he doesn't know how to lead a team, this and that." Look at what he did with Cleveland back in the day. Come on, man. He was 19,
Can I
20 years
have
old.
some time to have a rebuttal? That's what I
Oh,
want to
my
do.
bad.
Can I talk? Because I feel like right now you're trying to hit every point that all I can
just
say is,
flowing right
yeah,
now.
you're right.
All right.
You're right.
Speak in peace.
All right. Who do I think won this trade?
Hey, I came to win today. That's all I'm saying.
You didn't. You still didn't win. You just took every point. You took every point. That didn't work.
Took it right out your mouth, man.
Who do I think won the trade? I think Boston won the trade. Hands down. Yes, I mean you're still looking at the ceiling of, well, what happens if Brown doesn't pan out? What happens if Tatum doesn't pan out in that offense? I mean, in summer league, he was just him by himself. If you kind of think about it, it was just him, and now he has to pass to Gordon Hayward, Al Horford. You still got to pass to Kyrie. Now you have to distribute the ball. But an all around team, man. If Kyrie can buy into Brad Stevens' defense and finally play defense, don't get me wrong. People keep talking about, well, Kyrie's terrible at defense. Kyrie has never had to play defense. He's never had a defensive-minded coach. You can't say Tyronn Lue was that, because last year, what happened to their team? They weren't a defensive team. He was supposed to be that guy, but he wasn't. You look at the different systems that you go into. If you buy into it, it will happen. I mean, a prime example, you look at what Nick Young. Nick Young played defense last year for the Lakers. I'm not saying he was great at it, but he played defense and he bought into the system. The same thing with Kyrie. If Kyrie buys into the system with Boston, man, hands down, that would be a great trade. That is the only thing that you're giving me. I mean, him and IT, offensively, I don't want to hear nobody say, well, they're very simple. No, I'm sorry. Kyrie can score at will. Don't get me wrong, IT can too. But if I put a bigger defender on IT is not about to score. I would give him over 20 points if I have a bigger defender on him. If I throw Tatum on him, or I throw Brown on him, again, he's going to be running up the court, but I'm going to exhaust you from trying to get open all this time unless you're conditioned. But I feel, okay. So now you go to the Cleveland trade. Don't get me wrong. I feel like Cleveland still worked out good in that trade with you still getting IT. I loved IT, man, the way he did. People will talk about, well, he took a sorry team, and that team was not sorry. That team was very defensive minded. You look at Avery Bradley.
Beat the Warriors twice in 2 years.
You look at Crowder. You look at what Brown was doing. They all bought into the system. They were offensive challenged. If IT didn't get off, they weren't scoring over 100 points or even close to it. They weren't even probably going to win, and we seen that in the playoffs. And that's why Avery Bradley had to take over in the offensive game, but that's not his role, really, which we thought it was, but it's not. Avery Bradley's more of a defensive player. But in regards to that, man, IT, he's a baller. He is. But he's nowhere near Kyrie to me. I'm sorry, man. Kyrie's younger, hasn't even stepped into his prime. I feel like IT right now is getting into his prime. In regards to getting a Jay Crowder, man, whoo, you got a defensive end now, man. You got defensive really right now, man. I think now you can finally play the ball of which Ty Lue wants to play, which is a smash mouth, as in, we gonna hit you when you come into the lane. We gonna show you we are competitive. We're gonna show you that we don't play. You ain't get no easy layups, whatever. If with them still keeping Amon Shepherd, you still kept him, even though it would have been better for you to get rid of him with that contract that he had. It kind of would have been better for you to ship him away to Boston or get rid of J.R. Smith. because you can get rid of those contracts, or you could have signed another veteran. I still like, the Jeff Green the sign that they did. That would have been good. I think that's going to help them on a defensive end as well with the second unit. But this is what I'll say. A lot of people have been saying, well, those two players cancel out with Kyrie. Okay. But the pick is what put them over. I'm sorry, man. And if you've seen the additions with Brooklyn added, I'm not saying Brooklyn is going to be, number 8 in the East. I'm not saying that. But they're not going to be top 5 in the East. And you look at the draft class that's coming out next year, it's nowhere near how heavy this draft class. This draft class went all the way to the top 15 that can give you that can give you franchise players.
Yeah.
On just 1 through 15. We haven't had that since Kobe's draft. We haven't had that since LeBron's draft. That doesn't happen anymore. So when you have it, and you look at if you look at the years after all these, I'm sorry, it doesn't happen right after. Like you get maybe 2 players, 3 players, and that's all that pans out.
Right.
But again, they're not going to be in the top 3. They could be trash all they want. I've heard, well, Brooklyn's trash. Okay, well, now you have a motivated D'Angelo Russell. You still have a Timothy Mozgov. You still have a Jeremy Lin over there. You still have other people that can buy into that system. And I think they got a couple free agents that I do not know off the top of my head that are going to buy into that system. I feel like they will be. Don't get me wrong; they'll still be in the bottom half, but they're not going to be in the top 5.
So you think they'll still push a fight this season?
Yeah, they'll push a fight. I think with the new talent that they just got, I think honestly, especially with D'Angelo on his this is his last year for his rookie contract. He wants a max deal, so he's gonna play hard. You got Timothy Mozgov still on that big contract, which I didn't think he deserved, but still Timothy Mozgov, which everybody still doesn't understand. Timothy Mozgov is a good big man. If you watch him play, even when they played in the Warriors that first year in the playoffs, Timothy Mozgov was running the show for our first couple games because the Warriors had nothing to stop that. But you look at it now, man, like we'll see. Again, we'll see what he does in Brooklyn with the new coach with the coaches that they have over there, and we'll see does D'Lo buy into it, or is he going to be lazy, or is he going to be the guy that the Lakers thought he was going to be at the number 2 pick? Overall, I don't think again this was beneficial for the Cavs. I think they maintained, but I think with them maintaining, it became a maintain by them adding defense. Because now it's going to help them on the all-around perimeter to be able to guard a Clay, to be able to guard Steph. You know what I'm saying? Because now you could throw Crowder out there to guard Clay, and you could throw JR or Iman to be able to guard Steph, or in that regard. So you have more pieces to be able to play with the bunch and have LeBron be able to guard KD. So, you know what I'm saying? You have those pieces. So, I mean, I give it to him. I mean, the trade, I think for LeBron right now, he's happy. But overall, I'm sorry, man, that trade, I feel like Boston, if Boston pans out the way we see Tatum hit, like, you cannot tell me right now. People been saying, okay, let me just add this because we almost went into that before we wrap up in like 2 minutes. You cannot tell me that IT's defense is same as Kyrie's defense. Kyrie doesn't get mismatched when somebody ends up posting him up. You can shoot over IT if you're a mismatch, whether you're a Clay, whether you're a KD, and you have that as a mismatch. The Warriors are going to be biting at the bits for him being on the court because you're going to have Clay that's going to be able to run around. What is he going to do? You're going to play zone? Okay, we're good. We'll shoot from the outside. Unless you're going to close out with us, now we can be able to hit it inside to be able to give it to Draymond or KD. Again, I'm biting at the bit when you are there because I'm going to post you up every single play. I'm going to ISO you every single play. With Kyrie, the Warriors tried it. Doesn't necessarily work. It might work every blue moon. Again, Kyrie's no pushover on defense, but he hasn't been asked to be that guy on defense either. He hasn't been, hey, I need you to take your number 1 D. He hasn't need to be. So if you don't need to be, why would you?
I think overall, it's gonna be interesting and fun to watch him come into his own, and finally, like he said, he wanted to do. He wants to be the leader. He wants to be the man of the squad. He has the opportunity to do so. And I've always liked Uncle Drew myself.
Man, that layup that you can't stop. I don't know what it is about that layup, but it
might be the best finisher in the game right now. I'm just saying.
I mean, again, everybody talk again. Don't get me wrong. IT in the regular season in the fourth quarter put up the best numbers that I've ever seen in the fourth quarter, hands down.
Yeah,
I mean, I said
down
on the
pat.
podcast, I believe he should have been MVP. That was my vote.
He
But
did.
hands down, at the end of the day, has anybody done besides Kobe, you know, Jordan, all that, but in this new generation, been as clutch as Kyrie has been in the postseason? There hasn't been anybody. This is my opinion. But again, that's enough of that topic,
We'll
man.
see.
We'll let that one pass. But going on to this last topic, man. I want to know what you think about this fight coming up, man, between McGregor and Floyd. And
Hey,
what's your thoughts on it?
it's I did, you know, matter of fact, I just got done watching All Access, the first 4 episodes. I think I got one more. I watched them. It's a tradition now to watch the Mayweather All Access. I can't help it. But I mean, if you know me, then you know I'm part of the money team. So you know, I'm pulling for Floyd to win this out, close out his legacy, 50-0, and you know, be known as one of the best to ever step in the ring. And you know, I personally I thought this whole matchup was kind of a joke in the first place, just because you know, I mean, Conor McGregor is a great fighter, especially in the octagon.
But only in the octagon. Let's just throw that out there. Come on now.
Thank you. You know, with respects to both sports, you know, I just it's hard to see somebody, you know, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I know McGregor has boxing
Abilities.
he has experience. You know, he has trained as a boxer before. But you know, there are specifics to this type of thing, and Floyd's been doing this for 20 plus years. You
Since
know,
'83. I don't even
he's
know, but I'm just throwing that number out there.
he's a former he's an Olympian. You know, he's been doing this all his life. You know, and that's why anybody that else has stepped in the ring with him has not been able to match up. I mean, simple as that. So, you know, I don't think that a few months of hard, consistent boxing training for McGregor
with the arms,
with the arm swing, I don't think it's gonna fare well for him. You know, McGregor said 4 rounds. He's knocking Floyd out. That's if you can touch him.
How many people have said that? De La Hoya said that.
Come on.
Canelo said that. I mean, the list goes on, man.
And these guys have been more powerful than Mayweather has. You know, typically on paper.
All right, let me give my 2 cents, man, so we can wrap this up, because this is not even worth the topic to talk about. At least I feel like, but I mean, hey, it's popular in sports, so we had to talk about it.
Yeah.
In regards to who's winning this fight, man, this fight reminds me of Rocky. When Rocky was fighting, you know, Hulk Hogan, and you were just like, why? Like, it's not even your profession. For what? So really, I mean, that's how I feel. You're gonna win. The only way Conor was gonna win is by doing a DQ and using UFC techniques from there.
Right. Something.
Other than that, it's not gonna work. I mean, Conor is probably. I will say this, fans, before you start jumping on our timeline, start doing unnecessary stuff. Conor has power, but he has to be able to catch Floyd. If he doesn't catch Floyd, it's not gonna happen. 2, Floyd. I don't know what he said in his interview. He said, you know, I heard what everybody said about Pacquiao. I'm going to get in there and I'm going to be able to squabble with him. First of all, he lied. I don't think he's going to do that.
Me neither.
Because if he did, he would be stupid. Because, again, this is your last fight. You're too
fight
old.
Your fight.
You're too old to be in there scrambling. You better dodge and move. Buck and
fight
move.
Your fight.
Buck
That's
and move.
Do what you're good at.
That's it. But the interesting fact that I've just found out today, 3 pounds of gold, 3,360 diamonds, 600 sapphires, 160 emeralds on the WBC money belt, as they're calling it, between this fight.
Dang.
And it's all wrapped around in snakeskin.
Wow.
So we're calling it the money belt. So basically you're already saying that Floyd is going to win. So this is your personal belt that we're going to give you.
Hey, okay. I mean, technically he defended his title, right? So it is his.
But anyways, guys, as we wrap up this, again, we know I won this debate in regards to that Kyrie situation, man. Come on now.
Nah, son.
Let's be here.
Nah,
I mean, Fanique is going to be on your side. Nah, man. Nah. I don't want to hear that, B. I don't want to hear that. But nah. Like I said, man, we gonna give it to y'all, man. We happy to get back. We're probably gonna give y'all another episode. Let y'all,
yes, sir.
see that.
Because guess what? But you know what it is. We back, and we back. But they got to get their shit together. So,
man, in regards to your Cowboys, they need to be able to find a backup. You'll bring up Tony Romo, but that's a different story. But
we straight, we good.
On this note, man, we thank y'all for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, do not be in our comments talking about I want to be in fantasy. If you haven't even subscribed, how you gonna be our boys? And you
we
ain't
talking
subscribed?
To all y'all, everybody.
How
subscribe.
you gonna be family and you ain't subscribed?
All it takes is a quick click. It's just like a follow button. You know,
well,
support the homies.
Enough? We not good enough.
We
but
support
you want
y'all.
us to support you though in your journey.
We you know, yeah, just as simple as that.
Pause. Let me say this one more time. You want us to support you, the people that's selling T-shirts, the people that is selling music out there, but you can't subscribe. But we the main people that'll be like, yo, go check out the bruh, man. Go check out the bruh. But you can't subscribe. Wow. Like, but get mad when nobody follow you and go to your concerts. But you can't help nobody else out. It's a different day. Anyways, as we wrap this up, we thank the people that have subscribed, the people that will subscribe in the future. We thank y'all, man. We are back. Again, we'll give it back to y'all in a few minutes again for another one.
Keep tuning in.
Y'all have a good night. We out.